Hey, what up, y'all? Welcome to the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast. I'm your host, Spink, the Ice Cream Man, checking in live and direct from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Man, today, man, I got something special going on today, man. I got the interview with Mo Nique on Club Shay. I'm going to give y'all my thoughts and opinions on this. But first, I want to start out saying that I am a Mo Nique fan. I've been watching her predominantly all my life, you know what I'm saying, from her TV shows, her movies. She's a great actress, you know what I'm saying? I think she can be a bit overbearing at times, but enough of my thoughts on that right there. Let's just get right on to it.
Someone says Shannon Sharpe don't mess with black women.
Whoa.
My mom told me something when I was a little boy. She said, boy, never chase a lie.
Come on.
I got black kids.
That's what I said. I said that baby's black.
Too far along in this interview, man. This is a 3-hour interview, so I'm gonna piece this out. I'm gonna do an hour 3 times. So y'all just stick with it. Have a good time, man. Let's check it out.
Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why all my life I've been grinding all my life.
Looking for a super offer on Super Bowl 58? DraftKings Sportsbook have you covered. New customers can bet on the big game and turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Shannon. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus.
Y'all tell me what y'all like in the comments, man. Y'all DraftKings or FanDuel? Tell me what y'all like, man.
Bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58 with code Shannon. The crown is yours. Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharpe. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay. And the young lady that's stopping by for conversation and a drink today is one of the best loved comedians. She's one of the most decorated actors. She won an Oscar, a Golden Globe. She's a British Academy Film Theater and Arts Award. She's a Scripps Howard Guild winner, NAACP Image Award winner. She's been nominated for a Primetime Emmy and a Grammy. She's a talented host, executive producer, writer, and an author, a versatile entertainer, a famed Hollywood star, a powerful name in the industry, a veteran stand-up comedian, a mother, a wife, a legend, the one, the only Mo Nique.
Wow. No one does that better, baby.
Thank you.
Do it again. Say all that again, baby.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay. I am your host, Shannon
Come on
Sharpe.
now, put them damn cards down and read all that again. Oh, brother, thank you.
When we stop by, I want to toast you for your amazing career, not only in front of the camera, but behind the camera and your stand-up career. Mo Nique, thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me, brother Shay.
Thank you. Better drink some water after that one.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Let me just say this before we start.
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk right to the sisters.
Okay.
One sip.
This is one thing I like about Mo Nique right here. She always has a message to the women. Listen up.
Get you right there. Now I'm back to you, Shay. I'm back to you, baby. That's enough for me, baby. But sisters, if you're trying to make up with your man, if you're trying to get pregnant, this right here is Shannon Sharpe. One sip. Take care of all your woes. Woo, baby, that thing right there. Okay.
Mo Nique, when you hear everything that I read on the card, what goes through your mind when you hear that?
What goes through my mind when I hear you read that? I'm humbled by that. I'm grateful for that. I've been allowed to share a gift because that's what it is. But when you start reading that, there's a part that says, who is he talking about? And there's another part that says, I'm grateful that I was able to put that work in to achieve those things, but all with humility.
You said we were talking off camera. You said, I want to get something. There's something I want to share with you, and I need to get it off my chest early.
Because that's why I'm looking at you now. Like, why are you going into that? Because I told you we could not talk till I dealt with you.
Okay,
listen. Okay. So let me say this to you. The day I watched Skip Bayless lose himself with you. And that's what he did. He lost himself. And when I watched Skip Bayless say to you, put them goddamn glasses back on, boy. Now, I know he didn't say goddamn and boy, but that's what everybody heard. And I was waiting for you to snatch his ass across that table, baby, and give it to him. I was like, Shannon, this is the perfect time. I don't condone violence.
Right.
I don't say be violent. But that day, I was in my feelings for 2 days. Me and my grandbaby could not watch you for 2 days. And my husband had to say, Mama, let's talk about this. Look at Shannon Sharpe. He retired in 2004, but he could still get on that field and run touchdowns, tackles, everything. Had he snatched Skip Bayless across that table, he would have died in Shannon's arms that day.
Right.
So Brother Shay handled that right. Now we can talk. Okay? I just had to get that off of me because I know
I'm glad she said that because deep down inside, I feel the same way. And I kind of look at Skip a little different now. I don't really watch the show as much as I used to. But and I kind of don't really have too much really excitement for watching Skip as much as I used to, man.
everybody around the world heard what I heard. No, he didn't say them words, but we heard it in his mind, and we was looking for you to say space and opportunity, Skip. Space and opportunity.
That's that be more coming out of you.
You know what? That's your Aunt Mary coming out of me. That's your Aunt Mary coming out of me, baby.
I got an aunt named Mary Nell. Mo Nique, you and her are a spitting image. I remember the very first time I saw you, and my sister and I, we were talking, and my sister looked at me, and I looked at her. I said, she's a spitting image of my Aunt Mary, and you are. You are. Hopefully, we're going to put pictures up when we run this. So you're from Baltimore.
Yes.
And I read everything that I read. When you were growing up in Baltimore, what did a young Mo Nique want to be?
Just what I'm doing right now, baby.
You dreamed of this.
Just when I tell you, Shannon, from a little...
I told y'all dreams come true.
Girl, I always wanted to be famous.
Okay.
Because I saw the Jackson 5.
Okay.
And I saw people screaming for them and hollering. And I'm like, damn it, I want them to scream and holler for me, but I couldn't sing.
Right.
But I knew somewhere I was going to be famous.
Right.
So I prayed to the universe, just let me be famous. I didn't understand what all came with that. As a little girl,
right.
You just see the lights, the glamour, the glitz, and you fall in love with that. So that little girl fell in love with the lights, the glamour, and the glitz. That little girl fell in love with a woman named Oprah Winfrey on a local talk show in Baltimore called People Are Talking. And when I looked at that woman, Shannon, I saw me. I saw a big woman with a big head, big shoulders, and big feet. And I said, if that woman can do that, so can I. So that's what that little girl was thinking about from Baltimore.
Are you the type of person that if you see someone do something one time, that means it can be done again? Because you saw Oprah do it. You say, well, Oprah doing it. Why can't Mo Nique do it?
I think Oprah, when I saw her do it as a little girl, was a push. However, had I not seen Oprah, my dreams would have still been my dreams.
Okay.
But when you see somebody that's inside of that space, because how many big Black women are on TV even now?
Correct.
So back then, you didn't see any big Black women on TV that was doing it. So I think had I not seen her, I would have still wanted to do it. But seeing her, let me say, okay, it's possible. It's right there.
Right. What was Mo Nique like as a little girl?
What you seeing right now, baby, ain't nothing.
So you always...
I just got, listen, let me tell you something. A lot of people in this industry don't like me, right?
Yeah.
They didn't like me as a little girl, Shannon. I'm so used to this shit. People didn't like me because I was going to tell it. I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell on you. So what you're seeing right now is the same thing you're getting. They tried to fight my ass in the 12th grade, Shannon. They surrounded me, a group of them. Okay, wanted to fight on me. Why? Because I told the truth.
What you tell?
I told Andre that was not Lamon's baby because that's what Lamon.
That ain't your place.
Let me tell. Wait a minute. Oh, sugar, you gonna calm yourself down? Okay. Do you see Shannon losing himself with that? You gotta back that up, Shannon. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a person for right.
Right.
Right. And if you tell me something and you say, Mo Nique, I've done something to somebody, but don't say nothing. I'm gonna need you to fix that, because if you don't fix it, I'm gonna have to tell that because it's wrong. So when she tells me this is not his baby, but I'm gonna tell him it's his baby, I can't let you do that. That's not right. Wow. So what I stand for is right. And I think where we run into a problem in our community, in our group, we get so caught in, well, that's not your place, but you see wrong happening, right?
Like one of my favorite Hot Boy members, Hot Boy 30 say, telling the truth, not hating.
So when you see wrong happening, what you do? Do you just stand back and say, that ain't my business? Or do you look and say, well, I knew that wasn't his baby. Now the baby 21 years old and he's trying to find his father. What you gonna do? I'm asking you, what you gonna do?
Well, honestly, Mo Nique, if somebody say, well, Shannon, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell you this in confidentiality, and I don't want to go any further than me, you, and this table.
Yes.
It stays with me, him, and the table.
Well, let me say this, because I'm going to go back and forth with your ass, okay? I would say, before you tell me, did you hurt somebody?
Okay, yes.
Before you tell me, is this something that would make me question your character? Before you tell me, you got to be clear about what you get ready to tell me. Because if you're getting ready to tell me something and I know that you've done something wrong, I know that you're wrong, and I not say anything, that's why people are allowed to keep harming people for years to come. See Harvey Weinstein?
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of people that knew what was happening.
But they felt it wasn't their place.
It wasn't their place. Them. Right, until it becomes you. So I think the moment we get into a space, and I was in the 11th grade at the time, right. Okay? But when we get into a space where we say, listen, if I know you're doing wrong, and I take a position that's not my place, eventually you will succumb to what you support.
What was your relationship with the young lady that told you this in confidentiality?
I'm not going to focus on, I was in 11th grade, now I'm 56, but when she told me, I told her, I'm going to tell. See, I'm that. I'm going to tell him what you said. So we clear. I'm going to tell him what you said because that's not right.
Oh my goodness, Mo.
See, I think that's the problem that we're dealing with right now, Shannon.
Okay.
What y'all think about that particular situation? Would you tell a friend the truth? Leave it in the comments.
When we know something is wrong, everything Cat Williams sat here and said,
right.
We all know it to be the truth. However, we get so caught up in, well, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Right.
Well, can you believe he said it? Or can you?
Or it's the messenger.
It's the messenger, baby. We get so caught up in the messenger that we'll overlook the message. People have a hard time hearing a 5'5" giant tell the truth. People have a hard time with a Black woman over 200 pounds tell the truth, because people that look like us, we should just be grateful we got invited to the party.
Right.
We should just.
Was Cat telling the truth or was he hating?
Be grateful that someone paid us attention. I've dealt with that my whole life. I've dealt with that. So when you get to a space where you say, listen, I want to be free. I want to be free. I don't want to walk around intimidated, scared, fearful. What might happen? What they gonna what they gonna say? What they gonna do? If it's your story and it's the truth, tell it. Because what you can do is be in a position to prevent it happening to someone else over and over and over again. So if I go back to the 11th grade with that sister who's no longer with us, rest her with that sister, I would do that again. Because if you tell me something and we know it's wrong, but you're going to pin that on somebody else, is that right?
No.
And what would your Aunt Mary do?
Man, Mo Nique, I swear, Mo Nique.
You're not answering my question. What would your Aunt Mary do?
Well, she gonna tell it because you gonna tell anything anyway. So yeah, they probably know not to tell her.
But that's why you love Aunt Mary, because Aunt Mary kept it in check.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't want to tell her,
right.
She was gonna tell that baby, you know that's not your daddy.
Right.
We're not gonna play like that. You love Aunt Mary.
I do. The uniqueness of your name, M-O hyphen. Most of the time, Mo Nique is a singular. It's not M-O hyphen. What was that like? Because people say, oh, you're trying to be different. You're trying to be bougie. You know good well you spell your name Mo Nique like everybody else spells Mo Nique.
I do. That's my stage name. When I'm not on stage, my name is Monique. When I'm on stage, it's M-O, the little hyphen, Nique. That's just entertainment.
Did you ever think about changing it to the hyphen?
No. On stage is one person. Off stage is somebody different. And sometimes we get the two mixed up.
Right.
On stage, I am an entertainer.
Right.
Off stage, I'm a wife. I'm a mommy. I'm a friend. I'm a sister. I'm these different people. But I keep that stage on the stage.
How much of stage is actually Monique?
That's good.
That's a good question.
Shay. That's good. All of the stage is Monique, but there are certain things Monique's going to say on stage that she wouldn't say off the stage. There are certain things on that stage. You know, there have been people that said, oh, she cussed so much. Oh, I'm a performer. Right. I'm an entertainer, and I'm on stage. But no one will ever find an interview of me doing what I do on stage in an interview like I'm having with you. It's two different things.
Right. What type of student was Monique? I read that you were in, I don't know if this is the correct way, but you were in the class that...
The slower one.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you had a couple...
Say it, baby, now. I want you to say
want me
it. Spell it out.
How about this here?
Hey.
You got 2 naps. You had 2 recesses.
Okay.
You stayed in the same class.
Okay, but I did not wear a helmet.
Okay.
Now, since you want to go there, I did not have to wear that helmet, baby. So, yes.
Mon, as I sit here with you today, you didn't all of a sudden become this advanced. Why were you in that class?
I'm not going to play with you, Shannon. Okay, some of them damn words Cat was using, I was like, what? I said, oh, he's socking it to him. You know, I never connected with school because I always felt like it wasn't adding up. So when you're trying to teach me about the Boston Tea Party, but people that look like me is at the bottom of the boat, I can't connect to what you're saying. I never connected to, because I always felt like something was off. When they were teaching me about history, we were always the savages, and we were always the bad people. And then you saw these white people be all the heroes. And as a little girl, I said, something's not adding up. So I don't look at that as a bad thing. I just didn't connect with it. It made no sense to me.
So you never had a problem with the learning, but the disconnect was what they was teaching and what you actually saw. You like, what you teaching me is not what I actually see.
You know what, Shannon? It's a combination.
Okay.
It was a combination, okay? I wasn't grasping it and I didn't believe it. So it's a combination. And when you have a child that is full of energy and is sitting in a classroom that is closed in all day long, and you're trying to tell me all that I'm not, it just did not add up to me. It just did not make sense to me. So there's no shame to it. When people say, was you in the soul class? Yeah. You know, we colored.
So when you...
Hey, baby, we colored. But don't overlook what you don't think is the package supposed to be.
Right.
See, again, we come back to the messenger. Nobody thought that I would be. And I'll go to my family. Like, nobody thought, not the fat one. She's not going to be the one. Not her. So I've been used to people doubting and counting me out. And for me, as that little girl, it's like one day, and that one day is right here.
Even your family. So how was your family? How was your brothers and sisters? Because I mean, look, I got a brother.
Kind of remind me of myself, quite honestly.
Brother and sister, and you know, we joke with each other, and I can imagine if the situation were, if one of us was in those class, we gonna get them jokes off, Mo Nique. It is what it is.
No one paid enough attention.
Really?
Like, no one paid enough attention, because though we lived in a household together, we were very individual. So no one even paid attention to what was really going on, and to include my parents. And that's not a victim story. That's not, oh, woe was me. It's just what it was. So it wasn't like, oh, you dummy. The jokes were always fat. They were always fat jokes. Well, okay. So I'm so used to that. But
are you the only one in your family this
baby,
time?
the only one that sneaks snacks. I'm the only one that'll sneak them damn snacks, Shannon. Right. I'm the only one. Yes.
So what would you say your relationship then and now was with your family?
Well, my relationship now with my family, they're my biological family, and I wish them well.
Mo.
What, here's the thing. I watched you do I think it was like a little clip, and they were talking about interracial dating.
Yes.
And you said, why would somebody stay where they're miserable?
I'm in an interracial relationship.
Right.
That applies everywhere, Shannon. It just doesn't apply to that, especially in our community. We've been taught, take care of your family, make sure. Well, there are some families that deserve it. And there are some families that you have to say, listen, I'm so glad we had this time together. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's where I am with mine. I wish all of them the best, but that's what it is. Yeah. So even as I sit here with you now, with all that's going on in Hollywood and all of the stuff I had to go through, I've already been through it with people that you call your family. And I have to say, you know what? That has to just wash off when I know what I'm standing in and what I'm standing on.
You're absolutely right, Monique. My grandmother used to always tell us, she say, son, teeth and tongue may fall out, but family never should. And she stood on that. No matter what transpired in the family, no matter how bad someone had treated you, you should never fall out. But hearing you say that, that's different, because just because we're blood, that doesn't mean we're family through blood. But sometimes it's somebody on the outside that's not blood, that's actually closer family than the actual biological.
We've been taught to say trauma is okay. We've been taught to say you mistreated me, you abused me, you violated me, you disrespected me, you belittled me, but I'm supposed to look at you at Thanksgiving and say, how you doing, Unc? That's what we've been taught. You swallow that pain. That's why people have such a problem with Cat Williams. People have a problem with people that says, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. And that causes a ruckus. And you would say, why are people upset with the truth? When you hear Steve Harvey say, there are repercussions when you tell the truth. Well, remember when we were children, what would your grandmother tell you?
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth, because if not, there will be what? Repercussions. Right. Well, now it's got turned around. When you tell the truth, there'll be repercussions. So what's the opposite of that? Should I tell a lie and get a reward? So that's how we're rolling right now. That's how we're dealing with one another right now. So when it comes to family and people saying, oh, Monique, how could you? Listen, I want to live the rest of this journey that I have in peace. I want to be with my family, in love with my man, he in love with me. We watch our babies grow and develop their own families. I don't need anything in the midst of that, because you family, that I should accept that trauma. I should accept you not taking accountability for what you've done, what you've said, and we just washed the slate. That's why we're in the position we are now as a community, as a Black community, as a community in entertainment. Everybody's been so afraid to say, look what they did to me. Look what they said. And it's like, oh, well, listen now, we don't want to ruffle no feathers, especially if the messenger doesn't fit what people should think the messenger is supposed to look like. Right. And we keep repeating history, Shannon.
Is it a situation, Monique, where people look and say, well, you made it thus far, well, it couldn't have been that bad? Because if it has been as bad as you say it is, Monique, how would you have ever gotten out of B-More? How would you have ever gotten into Hollywood? How would you ever have a talk show? How would you ever be on a sitcom? So how is it that bad, Monique, and you end up like this?
You know, when you first got in the NFL,
yes, ma'am,
your eyes were like this.
Yes.
And it was, oh, I made it. I'm here.
Right.
And then after you start getting in it and you started seeing things and you started feeling things and now your eyes start getting a little closer, because now you're understanding what the business is.
Right.
So when you first walk through the door, you're walking through the door saying, come on, baby. Oh, this is all I've ever prayed for. And when my baby Cat Williams sat here and said, no one's ever gone out to LA and got a sitcom like that. I was in LA for 3 months, and here comes a show called The Parkers. And there we go from there. It took off from there. So
shout out to the Parker TV show. I used to watch that back in the day when I was a kid.
I think that when people say, if it was so bad, you mature. you begin to understand what you're dealing with.
Right.
You begin to understand what you're in the midst of. And once you understand it, is when you can speak on it.
Right.
But before you really know what you're looking at, how do you speak on that?
Right.
Because when you first walk in the door of Hollywood, you have everybody telling you, oh my goodness, you're going to be amazing. Oh my goodness, this is going to be incredible. Well, that's all you know.
That is all you know.
Yes.
But you're so happy to be here.
Yes.
And you're like, okay.
When I listen to your story,
Mm-hmm.
you say dirt poor,
Yes.
bathroom outside.
Yes.
It was, we had to make it work however we can make it work.
Correct.
And then you get that first big check.
Yes.
And you think the people that gave it to you was awesome
Mm-hmm.
because they gave it to you. And it's more money than you've ever seen before until you find out this ain't the right money. This ain't the right amount. Wait a minute. If they got this, why am I getting this? Then you start putting the pieces together and you start saying, it's not right and I'm going to speak about it. See, when I saw Taraji
Mm-hmm.
broken
Mm-hmm.
on those platforms, it was
I did a show about that Taraji P. Henson. You guys go back in the archives and check that out, man. I think I did pretty good on that one.
painful to watch. However, Taraji and I had a conversation over a decade ago.
Yes.
In my trailer when I was doing the Mo Nique show.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you got to keep on getting it until your turn comes. And I said, Taraji, most of us die before our turn comes. We got to ask for it right now. Now, I understand that because there was a time I felt the same way.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was told.
Right.
You just keep going and we'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. And the next time never comes. And then you see our sister broken, sitting on those platforms. Now, when I said it,
why didn't it get the traction when you said it that when she said it?
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when you do it.
Now all of a sudden everybody is coming, and I don't have a problem. I'm glad.
Yes.
But if you said this a decade ago, and I remember you saying it over a decade ago, why didn't it get the traction? Why didn't it get the support? Why wasn't it propped up when Mo Nique said it?
I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it was the messenger. I should just be grateful I got invited to the party. You a big fat black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they.
I'm surprised she's still alive.
Say the people. We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names?
You're very specific.
These are our heroes. How could you say their names out loud? Because they're the ones that did it. And if I don't say it out loud, now you see a woman that is swallowing that pain, that is so stressed out. Then you see our sister Taraji P. Henson sit on that platform. And I love that baby because she's a beautiful spirit. But to see her that broken, what our community was saying was, we have a hard time, some of us, we have a hard time seeing a strong black woman with a back straight and a chin up and a strong black man standing by her side. We have a hard time accepting that. But we can accept seeing a black woman broken. Now it's really serious because she's falling apart. Our community had a hard time with those two things. And when I would hear people say, why is her husband there? Why is he there? It's a sad day when we're questioning why a black man would stand with his black woman. So when you hear black women,
like I said, I'm in a relationship, so I agree with I'm in a relationship. I agree with what she's saying, but what kind of man is not standing near his woman, no matter what the race is? That's a motherfucking punk ass motherfucker to me.
saying we're the most undervalued, disrespected, underserved, mistreated, violated, exploited. We get all of that. Then you see a black man standing with his black woman saying, not on my watch. And you hear some black men saying, why her husband got to be there? We're in a sad state of affairs when we begin to question black love and black unity. So they didn't want to hear me, some of them, because of what I look like, because I spoke about their heroes, and because they saw that man standing right there strong.
Did they question the validity?
Now that's the Mo Nique that I love right there.
Because we had never seen this before. Not so public, not so present.
Yes.
Did they question you and his relationship?
Me and my husband?
Yes.
When you say question,
what is like?
Because they did, but I want to understand what.
Because okay, did they think that was your husband, or what was he? Your manager? Because he's been everything. Yes. He's your lover. He's your manager. He's your confidant.
Name him.
He's the father.
Come on, name him.
Whatever he's all encompassing.
Yes.
He's a toolbox with all the tools that Mo Nique needs.
All of them.
And so when I heard people saying that, why is he there? Why does he have to be in every interview? Why does he have to be in the background? Why can't Mo Nique do that? Why not?
Y'all hear that, fellas? You need to be your woman's toolbox. You understand? So if she want to go in there and get that screwdriver does a specific job. She want to go in there and grab that motherfucking measuring tape. That measuring tape does a good job. Boy, I tell you, Uncle Shay, he dropped the gem on that one right there. Damn.
Why not? Why not? And that's when you see, and these are my sisters, but when you see Taraji, when you see Viola, when you see our sisters speaking out, you never see their representation sitting right there with them. Mm-hmm. You never see them saying, listen, we got to fight together.
Right.
My husband is also my manager, which is my representation.
Right.
But again, we've been so beat down that some of us have a problem with this black man saying, I'm standing right here strong, right, and I will not flinch and I will not budge. What?
Listen, ladies, listen. All the ladies out there, listen. No matter what your race is, listen.
What a sad state of affairs we are now in, where you have people that look like you and I, mm-hmm, that would question why this man is standing there. That, for the life of me, is disheartening. Mm-hmm. When we heard Brother Malcolm say, we've been run amok, we've been hoodwinked, we're now doing it to ourselves. We're now doing it to ourselves. So when you say, Mo Nique, it was different because we had never seen that before. You said their names. Mm-hmm. Let me say this. I'm not the first one.
Right.
I'm not the first one, but we get washed away in history so easily that we start thinking, oh, this is the first one. This is the first one. Her name is Claudette Colvin. And she's not the first one, but she was before Rosa Parks. Mm-hmm. But because Claudette Colvin did not fit the picture that they thought she should look like, she was dark-skinned and she had...
I know the story. Y'all should look that up, man. I know the story. That's real black history right there that the Queen Mo Nique just dropped on us, man. Y'all go do your research.
Coarse hair.
I knew that.
Because the organization, I believe it was the NAACP, mm-hmm, did not think she would be accepted by the white people. Mm-hmm. They had to get somebody that they said the white people could accept. We keep repeating the same thing because what I said is no different than what anyone else is saying. Not at all.
Right.
It was.
And when you do your research on that, also do your research on the brown paper bag test. That'll tell you exactly why the bullshit-a-lots did what they did.
The messenger. And it was the way that I'm not putting my head down. I'm not shedding one tear. I'm not going to say, I don't want to say their name because I might get in trouble. I'm going to say all of it.
Right.
Because when you really think about that little girl coming behind you, what I don't ever want that baby to see is me broken. I don't want her to see me falling apart. And I understand it. I understand how it can happen, Shannon, when you may not have a foundation at home, correct, when you may not have that man at home or that woman at home, whomever, that support person saying you're not crazy.
Right.
I got you. Come on. We're going to go through this. We're going to get through this. So for us, if we start taking things for what they are and get out of our emotions, we will be so far along.
Do you believe punishment?
Mm.
Punishment is not only meant for the perpetrator, but it's also to deter others from said acts.
You see it.
Do you believe the punishment that was bestowed upon Monique was not only to punish you, but to deter others from saying what you said?
Well, Shannon, see here, and I'm going to answer that. But sometimes we act like we don't know our history. See, back in
Some of big history got to it. If you understand what Uncle Shay was talking about, break it down to you like this right here. What Uncle Shay was talking about was the bullshit lots. Well, it's called book breaking. They will get that person who's of strong minded and bring him to the altar, so to speak, and whoop him or do any kind of humiliating acts to this person to show the other people you better not get out of line. Because if you do, this what the fuck will happen to your ass.
in the day when they had us in chains, they would beat one real good.
Right. But in front of the others.
In front of the others, and they let everybody know what you don't want is that type of ass whooping.
Right.
So what they said was, we're going to beat Monique really good. We're going to sit her down. And I made it public. Financially, my family took
Didn't I just say that?
a hit, Shannon. And when I tell you we took a hit,
right,
we took a hit. So when you see our sister go through that, you see her go through, and we act like our eyes didn't see what it saw when we watched that promotion happen with The Color Purple.
Right.
We wanted to act like we didn't see how Oprah Winfrey treated Taraji. In my humble opinion, when you saw her walk up, you saw that there was tension. You saw that there was something happening.
Right.
And then when you see Taraji write her a love letter, it's like, listen, we got to stand tall and stand strong on what we know. We know you were mistreated. We know it wasn't right. We know it was unfair. And then you turn around and say, oh, but Lady O handled it. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because that allows Lady O to keep on doing what she's doing. And we're in a position of, I don't want to say nothing because we saw how Monique got whooped. Now, again, that's just my humble opinion. But I don't know I don't know how else to frame that. It's like, listen, you better fix that because you saw what they did to her. You saw how they treated her.
Is it a situation, do you believe it's a situation that Oprah might have faced something similar that maybe wasn't as public as you? And she's looking at it, well, if I faced that, went through it, and came out on the other side and look at me, it should be okay. Because sometimes we get that with parents. You know, I struggle. You say my kids should have to struggle sometimes also. Do you think that might be something going on with her? Or you just like, there's a disconnect?
There's a disconnect.
Okay.
There's a disconnect, and there's been a disconnect for years. There's a disconnect. And I think what happens is we place people on these pedestals and we say, oh, no, you can't do no wrong. We don't even want to hear it.
Right.
And when you hear cats say, you know what they do? They don't say anything and they act like it didn't happen. I'm going to keep talking until you take accountability.
Right.
Until you say, Uncle, I've done this. That's why it was so important. From Oprah Winfrey to Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels. Now, Lee Daniels was the only one I had to deal with. Did you see Lee Daniels apologize? He walked out on that stage. Not only did he apologize on stage, that man apologized to our children. That man apologized to our children and said, I need to apologize for what I put y'all through. He's the only one I had to deal with. However, it became a problem with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, that I wouldn't do something and work for free. Now, when you say, well, maybe Oprah feels like she came through it, why can't you?
Right.
Well, there's a story with Oprah Winfrey when she was on the show, People Are Talking. Richard's share was making $55,000. She was making $22,000. These are her words. It was her co-host. She said, I had to leave because they wasn't paying me fairly. Now you say a Black woman who did nothing wrong, and you're in the midst of this situation because she called me, Tyler Perry called me, Lionsgate called. When you were on the phone with my husband, you said, I agree with Mo Nique. I agree with the position she's taking.
But
when it came time to say it out loud, Oprah Winfrey went totally silent. Now, to Tyler Perry's credit, Tyler Perry called us up, right? And he said, I can see the pain in you and I can hear it. And I want to let you know that I would never do nothing to hurt you. But the conversation kept going on, only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied, only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong. And when my movie Boo come out, I'm going to say that, right? Now, here's where, when you did that interview with Kat, I could respect how you do it. Because Kat said, you let them people lie in your face. And your response was, Kat, I don't know if they're lying or not.
Right.
Because I can only take them at their word.
At the word.
Right?
Yes.
Well, we sent you the audio of Tyler Perry. I don't want you to take me at my word. I want you to hear his words. And what did you hear that man saying? What did you hear that man saying?
He said it.
What did he say?
Mo Nique, you know you're not supposed to.
That's what I'm saying. I personally wouldn't want to meet my favorite entertainer because I know that people can be assholes, and I don't want to change my thoughts of a person who I like that's in the entertainment field. You know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of people out here that's assholes and bad people in the entertainment field. And it's crazy, man. I wouldn't expect Tyler Perry to backdoor somebody like that. But hey, it's a doggy dog world, man. It is what it is.
Recording people.
No. Let me back up.
Okay.
Everything we did was legal. And here's where a Black woman really gets the kick in the ass. Had I not recorded Tyler Perry, then it would have been my word against his. And then on top of that, it would have been, he's so powerful, we can't even pay no attention to that.
Right.
Well, now I have him on audio, which is legal to do where we live.
Right.
Okay. We have him on audio. And do you know what some people then said? Why would you record him? Just like you sat there and said, you know what's illegal
to show this motherfucker he's a dirt bag.
But did you hear what the man said? I violated you.
Yeah.
I mistreated you.
Yeah.
Do you know, Shannon, that's cost my family tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Over a lie and a rumor?
Is he gonna make he's gonna compensate you for that?
I want you to look in your camera.
Yes.
And I want you to talk to Tyler Perry because you heard what that man said. So ask him, will he compensate my family for that?
Tyler, will you come on Club Shay and let's have a conversation about the fair compensation for what transpired between you and Mo Nique? You can sit right here and she's sitting right here and you and I can have a conversation.
If Unc get Tyler Perry on his on Club Shay, that's gonna be 50, 100 million views easily.
And we'll do you one better. And give me 5 on that, baby. We'll do you one better, Shay. My husband and I'll sit right next to him. See, with this whole situation, and some of the people that Kat talked about, ironically, I have issues with those same people. There were people that reached out to Tyler Perry on my behalf.
Okay.
And I was grateful for that. Okay. There was Al Sharpton, the Reverend Al Sharpton, civil rights leader.
Yeah.
I sent him that audio. He listened to it. He said, baby, what that man did to you was wrong, and you're like my daughter. And we're going to have to get him to fix that.
Right.
I'm surprised Mo Nique's still alive.
We didn't hear from Al Sharpton for 6 months. The next time we saw Al Sharpton, he was on a podium talking about we don't need to fly commercial because we can fly Tyler Perry's private jet.
Tyler Perry bought him. Ain't that a bitch?
I said, that's why maybe I'm not hearing back from him. Okay. Then we had our beautiful sister, Stephanie Mills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is, she don't play.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. I told her what happened, sent her the audio. Now, I don't know if she listened to that audio or not, but however, she called Tyler Perry. She said, Mo Nique, Tyler Perry does not want to revisit this. Okay, fine.
Right.
While we're on the phone, Tyler Perry calls her back and says, I will meet with Mo Nique, but not with her husband. Now, you ready for this?
Yeah.
And then Mo Nique has to apologize publicly to say Oprah and I had nothing to do with messing up her career.
But that'd be a lie.
Look in the goddamn camera.
I thought that was a stage the way you
look in the camera.
Yes.
Because you heard it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when you hear what this man is saying, so I said, Stephanie, tell Tyler Perry, never will I meet with him without my husband. And I owe no apology, so I'm not going to give one. That goes away. Kevin Hart. Now, you know when Cat Williams said gatekeepers?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, I do his podcast.
Yes.
And I want y'all to re-listen to the podcast so you can hear it for yourself. When he first comes on, he says, you're like my mother, you're like my aunt, you're like my sister. Okay? Then we do the podcast. We speak about the Tyler Perry situation. Oprah Winfrey, he said, I don't really know Oprah, but I'm going to reach out to Tyler. I appreciate that. Kevin kept his word. He reached out to Tyler Perry. Kevin Hart called me back about maybe a week or so later. He said, Mo, I talked to Tyler. He said he don't want to revisit it. He said, but I tell you what, let's move past that, Mo. Let's just move past that and let's just do great things. So whatever
That's what Kevin said.
I want you to hear me, Kevin Hart. Let's move past that, Mo. Let's do some great things together. Don't even worry about it. Whatever y'all want to do, I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know what you want to do. Now, let me say that before we go any further, because I want to make sure I give Kevin Hart his proper credit. When my family was up against the wall, Kevin Hart wrote us a check and said, here you go. We're forever.
Like I said, man, this is a 3-hour interview. I'm going to piece this up 3 times. So still got a little time to go, man. I just want to do a friendly reminder to all my subscribers and everybody who's watching it. Let's get these numbers up. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.
Grateful for that. When we were able to give it back, we said, brother, we appreciate you with some interest on top, because I don't ever want nobody to think me and my husband. So I want to make sure I put that out there. That brother really helped us out when we needed to be helped out. Then when he came back with, I got you. I didn't ask Kevin Hart to do anything. He said, I'll executive produce. I'll partner with you. I said, good shit, Kevin, because we're in a deal with Endemol and we're trying to get our talk show back. Mo, whatever it is, I got you. Now, Kevin Hart is one of the biggest entertainers right now in the world, right? And was then. We got off the phone with Kevin Hart. We called Endemol immediately and said, Kevin Hart said, whatever we want to do, he got us. He's going to partner, executive use. They was like, oh, this is incredible, because when you put Kevin Hart name on it, you already know what it is.
Correct.
2 weeks go by. We get a call from Endemol. Endemol says, we just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky. And Dave Becky said, Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Mo Nique. So whatever she told y'all, he doesn't want to do anything with her, nothing. You know, he doesn't want any kind of relationship with Mo Nique.
So what changed between the 2 weeks and when, and plus he gave you a check, you gave the money back, then said he would partner with you?
I can answer that real quick. I can see, because remember, she said, he don't know Oprah that well, but he do know Tyler Perry. So when he reached out to Tyler Perry, I believe that Tyler Perry told him, hey man, don't be fucking with her. Tyler Perry got those moves with those heavy hitters in Hollywood, even though he's on his own. You know what I'm saying? And I bet that he basically chastised Kevin Hart. And that's why Kevin Hart backed out the deal with Mo Nique after telling her she's like his mother, sister, and all that stuff, man. Shiesty motherfuckers, man.
executive produce, whatever you need, Mo. Hey, we got you. So what transpired, or what do you think transpired between then that 2 week period?
Well, soon as we got off the phone and they told us what Kevin's manager David Becky said, I called Kevin Hart immediately.
Okay, good. She called him immediately, but that's bitch assness in Kevin Hart. How come he can't grab his motherfucking nuts and call who the lady who he love and adore, like his mother, sister, auntie? How come he can't pick up that phone and say, Monique, I think I be honest with you, man, I changed my mind. Why he got to go and do all kinds of backdoor shit to send somebody else that Monique don't even know to tell the message? Bitch ass shit, man. Bitch ass shit. That's why I say, man, I don't want to meet the motherfuckers in the entertainment, people that I like. I particularly don't care too much for Kevin Hart, comedy, you know what I'm saying? But that's just, it is what it is.
Immediately. I said, hey, baby, we just got off the phone with Endemol, and they said Dave Becky called them up and said, you don't want anything.
At least he had the balls to pick up the phone. He probably looked at the phone, shit, Monique calling, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? He had the balls to pick up the phone.
To do with me. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication. I can tell you right now. I said, wait a minute. Are you okay, though, with this white man calling them up? Getting in between our relationship after something you said. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication, and we're going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication. That was 2 years ago. If you talk to him, I talk to him. I've never talked back to Kevin Hart again. So that's what we're faced with.
That little punk ass motherfucker said, "Oh shit, man, I ain't finna lose my good thing. I ain't finna lose my good thing by fucking with her. I got come on 2 or 3. You know how I be acting. I got 2 or 3 movies coming out every year. Fuck Kevin Hart.
When you allow somebody to come in between a relationship with a woman that you said, I'm like your mother. You said I'm like these things. I didn't ask you for that. So everything that baby was saying sitting here, everything he was saying was on the up and up, because when you hear people say, get the anger out your heart. Oh man, no one's saying he's lying. No one ever said I was lying. It's so easy to discount and devalue because of what we look like.
Right.
However, when it comes to Tyler Perry, I will not allow you to discount or devalue, because that is your voice on that audio.
Mm-hmm.
Remember on Good Times when Penny's mother was whooping up on her, and she had recorded it? That's you on tape. So how does it go from you saying you're going to give me an apology to now I owe you an apology?
But what do you want an apology for?
What
Fucking
can I
my
possibly
career.
owe you an apology for when you've admitted? See, when Lee Daniels says to me, because Cookie from the show Empire, I was offered that role. Now Taraji tore it up, baby. Listen here. However, I was offered that. Then Felita called me back and say, baby girl, they said you're too difficult to work with. But you hear on the audio that a man told David Talbert I was difficult to work with. Do you
think? Leave that in the comments. Who would have been a better Cookie? I actually used to watch that show. I didn't watch it from beginning to the end from all series, but I watched a couple of seasons, a couple of episodes, whatever. But who y'all think would have played a better Cookie, Monique or Taraji P? Leave it in the comments.
You see how that cost my family?
Yes.
And with no accountability, because, it's the great Tyler Perry. No, you've got to be accountable for that. Oprah Winfrey, you've got to be accountable for the things you've done with my family. You've got to be accountable for that.
Is there any relationship between you and Tyler and you and Oprah currently?
No.
But I thought there was an apology. I read that I thought I read somewhere that Oprah had issued you an apology and Tyler had issued an apology. That's not correct.
No.
The only person that's given you an apology,
you saw it, is Lee Daniels. That's the only person. So we are in a place where we're too afraid to call them for what it is. We're too afraid to say if it looked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, what is it, Shannon? It's a duck.
Right.
So again, you see the struggle of the Black woman as I'm sitting here talking to you, and you say, Mo, well, why would you record them? But you heard the man violate me. The first thing wasn't, I can't believe that cat did that to you. It's, why would you do it? And we understand it,
Right.
because we've been conditioned that way.
Because when you had to get somehow, because when you're telling people these are lies,
Yes.
nobody is believing Mo Nique. So now, even though you have him record his voice, and that's him, and he's saying he made it up, now it's no longer, oh man, I can't believe he lied on Mo. Mo, why'd you record it? So now they put the onus back on you.
Where's the win? How do we win? How does a Black woman win when you say, here he is right here? And I look to the community and say, how long do we allow us to keep being exploited, used up, taken advantage of? And because we think somebody can give us an opportunity, we just say, shh, I'm not going to say nothing. If we keep operating like that, Shannon, you're going to have a whole lot of us sitting right here in this same seat, almost telling the same story.
Why do you think Tyler is afraid to meet with you and your husband? Why does it need to be you one-on-one when he meet with other representatives and their client? What is it about you that he feels it needs to be just you and he? Does he think your husband is some kind of negative influence on you? He thinks the husband is saying things that Mo Nique probably wouldn't say if I just had an opportunity to talk to her one-on-one. What do you think that is?
Let me say this. People better be glad my husband is by my side, because there are people in Hollywood that know wherever you act up is where I show up. People know in Hollywood, baby, Shannon, and I don't say it with a badge of honor. It's just what it is. Well, I've had to say, who you think you talking to? And we're sitting there with the president of the studio or my patience level is not going to allow. I've been molested. I've been violated. So the moment I see you trying to do it, we're going to have to address it. My husband is nothing but a gentleman. And you know why people have a problem with my husband? Because he's right to it. There's no, we're going to dance around the bush. He's right to it.
Right.
And people like Tyler Perry, people like Oprah Winfrey, they look at my husband and say, how dare you be so direct?
Right.
How dare you not put your eyes down when you're talking to me? How dare you do that? My husband is also...
Sound like her husband, no bullshit, ain't nothing but chewed up grass, and he ain't got time to hear that motherfucking shit.
My manager. Why would he want to exclude my management? It's like, Tyler, you should want my husband to be there. You may want him to be sitting right there, so that way we can have a conversation that everyone can be heard. But I appreciate you, Shannon, because most people are too afraid. That's heard the tape. They're too afraid to say, no, I heard it, and this is what he said. I appreciate T.S. Madison, because T.S. Madison was the first one to say, no, I heard what he said. So when folks were trying to jump on her, she not down for the Black woman, listen, baby, y'all don't even understand the fights that sister be having when ain't nobody watching for the Black woman.
Right.
So I appreciate you looking in that camera.
Right. Well, I mean, look, sometimes there are some Black people, some, not all, some, that my grandpa used to say, Mo, is that if you're not careful, you'll become the very thing you despise the most in a person. Now, what do we despise most about Trump supporters, ex-President Trump, is that no matter what he says, no matter what he does, they give him an out. There's some people in our community, no matter what powerful Black people say or do in our community, we'll give them an out.
And we can't.
And we become the very thing we despise the most. What we despise most about ex-President Trump supporters is that no matter what he does or says, it's okay.
Yes.
We can't do that. We can't. If somebody's wrong, like you said, Mo, if somebody's wrong, we have to be man or woman enough to say they're wrong, regardless of what comes along with that.
They don't know. They don't understand what them saying I'm sorry will mean for them. See, when I read the
because that's not for you. And I'm sorry, it's not for the person that you offended. It's for you. Because currently you're in hostage, your feelings, because you have to live with that.
You've got to live with that.
What you've done.
So when you see a woman say, me turning 70, I'm so happy because I've never hurt anyone. Stop it. Stop it. Because there's a Black woman that has been calling your name for over a decade that you seem to want to make go away. And I know I'm not the only one.
Would you sit, if Oprah called Mo today, would you sit down and have a conversation with her?
Let me tell you what I'll do if Oprah called me today, Shannon Sharpe. We will sit down and have a conversation with Oprah Winfrey. We will sit down and have a conversation with Tyler Perry. We will sit down and have a conversation with the presidents of Lionsgate. We will sit down and have a conversation with anyone that is, I'm going to say, brave enough to sit down and have a conversation. But what happens is within seconds, if Tyler Perry was to sit right here, you would say, man, I heard you. What you trying to tell me about this sister? Within seconds, Oprah Winfrey would know that people would say, hold up. See, when I speak about Oprah Winfrey, and let me be clear, I love that sister because she's our sister. Mm-hmm. She just got to come back across the street. We got the light on. When I speak about Oprah Winfrey, I speak about that woman because she's spoken about me. And when you begin to speak about me privately, I'm going to speak about you publicly. You've been unfair. You've been unjust. And you watched a Black woman be thrown under the bus. And you said nothing. And here's what's interesting as well. My husband was saying to me, after I won the Oscar award, right? Mm-hmm. And she had the people come, to talk to the Oscar winners. And I go on the stage and I talk to the Oscar winners. Well, when we go to a commercial, the people in the audience, and I say this humbly, as my husband was telling me, he said, Mama, they wasn't screaming Oprah. They were screaming Mo Nique. Mm-hmm. Right? So much so, I had to say, y'all gonna shut that shit up now. We get ready to go back on the air. We having fun, right? He said, but I watched Oprah. He said, and I watched her almost turn in her seat like they screaming her name. Now, some people will say, oh, Mo Nique, you're reaching. Well, let me tell you what then happens. The movie, The Butler, that movie was offered to me. Lee Daniels came out and said, I did offer Mo Nique The Butler. But as he said to me, he said, Mo, at the time I didn't have no power and I didn't have no money. So when Oprah said she wanted it, so who played the lead role in The Butler? Oprah Winfrey. Lee Daniels was getting ready to do a biopic on Richard Pryor, and he offered me the grandmother. Who then calls Lee Daniels and says, I want to be the grandmother. So as you're looking at me, it's the same way I'm looking at that sister. And I'm saying, why don't we sit down and have a conversation? Because the way things could look, it may not be that way, but just the way things look, Oprah. Just the way you would have my family on your show, Oprah.
One might say, Mo, well, I mean, if they're looking for a Black,
Big, go ahead and say it. Shannon's so careful with his words. He want to say fat Black woman. If the role looking for a fat Black woman, Mo, but he was like,
but I want to keep my podcast, Mo. Y'all ain't been to cancel me.
This why we love you, Uncle Shay, because we want you to say it, a fat Black woman. Now, me and Oprah fit the damn description, Shay. Fat Black. Don't we fit it?
You do. But I'll be right back in the bed. I'll be your neighbor up there where you live at.
Listen here. So, are you lying?
No.
Now, I'm not going to have your big ass sitting here in the Hall of Fame and you scared to say shit.
Okay.
And I want to excuse myself for any of the babies that might be watching this because I wasn't going to say no spicy things. But Shay get me wrong now. Come on, Shay.
One might say, or people might say, well, Mo, I mean, the role calls for a heavyset Black woman. You, Oprah, y'all fit the roles.
Yes.
How do we know that she wasn't offered the role at long and people think that she's better, more qualified than you?
It don't work like that, Shannon. You can't offer me. Once you say, I want you.
Right.
That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't have the money to fund a production.
Right.
I don't have the connections to go to the studio and say, listen, I want to do this movie. She does. Right. So when Lee says, hey, baby, she got the money, go get it. But someone would just say, How is that working out like that? How is that happening like that? How is it that things that was offered to Mo Nique, you seem to be playing? Now, I told Oprah about that. See, everything we're saying to you right now.
You was having a conversation with.
She's buying her way and funding his shit and is promoting her shit and buying her way on to the damn show. That's how she's doing it.
Here, I don't play the behind the back. I don't play the I'ma share with Shannon. There's one thing I will share with you that I've not shared with anybody. Okay. But I don't play the behind the back and all of that. I say, listen, let me try to get to you first. Now, if you avoid me, okay. But I tried to be respectful. I tried to call you first. When she had my family on her show, I tried to call you first. I tried to talk to you privately, but then you became the great, mighty Oprah Winfrey, and you were too busy to talk. Well, now I'm going to talk about it. This woman has overstepped with me in so many ways that somebody would say, if we wasn't Mo Nique and Oprah Winfrey in the entertainment business, and we was Mo Nique and Oprah Winfrey that worked at Costco, I see you in the break room. I see you at your cash register. Because she's overstepped.
Wow. So I don't know, Mo Nique. This might be the term crossing of the Rubicon. We might be going too far. How do you, if you feel that way, because clearly if you feel this way, now yes. I get why you feel this way. I don't know, like I said, I don't know this. I'm taking you at your word. Now, not the Tyler, because yes. I've listened to the audio.
Yes.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about Oprah.
Yes.
I'm just taking you at your word.
Yes.
If you feel this way, is it possible she feels the exact same way about you?
How could she? How could she? What have I taken from Oprah? When did I have Oprah's mother and father on my show? Mm-hmm. When did I have anybody come and speak about Oprah Winfrey on the Mo Nique show? That's never happened. So how could she feel that way?
Would you have done that?
Had her family on?
Yeah.
Let me tell you how we operate. When we had the Mo Nique show, there was a comedian on there. Mm-hmm. And he was trying to joke T.I.'s wife, Tiny. My husband walked out in the middle of his set. He said, cut. He said, brother, we don't do that here. We uplift our folks. Mm-hmm. We don't play that. So no, I would not have done that. When Oprah Winfrey had my family, and I'll tell y'all, and I'm looking around, baby, because there are people here.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't want to be rude to the people at Shay's club. You got other people in the club, mm-hmm. right? When Oprah Winfrey called me up, and she said, I got a call from your brother. And this is after I won the Oscar award, mm-hmm. right? And your brother wants to come on the show, and he wants to apologize to you for molesting you. And he wants to tell other people how to look out for a predator.
Right.
I said, Oprah, I said, I don't want anything to do with that cat. I said, and then she said, well, if you want me to scratch the show, I will scratch it. I said, sis, don't scratch it because he could be a different person. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get in the way if that cat is a different person. I just don't want no parts of it.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. When I hung up that phone, Shannon, I was like, I appreciate that sister. Like, she didn't have to call me.
She didn't.
She didn't have to call me and say, I'm going to have your brother.
Right.
I start seeing commercials with my mother and my father and my other brother, who used to be my manager, mm-hmm. who knew the fear that I had with the brother that was up on stage, right? Mm-hmm. We never talked about my mother being there.
She never told you that.
You know how you feel about your grandparents?
Yes, absolutely.
You know the honor and how you speak about them? Mm-hmm. Imagine you then seeing your granddaddy and your grandmama on a show, and they're talking about somebody that violated you, and that woman didn't tell you that they were going to be there. How would you feel?
I would feel like you felt betrayed.
That is exactly how I felt and how I feel. And it's not, no, I understand it, but you portrayed me.
That tells me a lot about, I'm going to end it here pretty soon, man, part one. But that tells me a lot about Mo Nique's heart, because remember when Uncle Shay asked her when she talked to Oprah and Tyler Perry, she said she would. But for somebody to go back, like I said, man, watch that back door, man. Motherfuckers always got their eyes forward, but watch that back door. Motherfuckers come through that way, man, and try to fucking backdoor you. She was trying to make it seem like she was doing good by not having the brother on there, you know what I'm saying? But then tell her I'm sneaking in. I'm sneaking in back through the back door. Your mama and your other folks. Oprah ain't shit, man. Ain't shit. We're gonna get a couple of more minutes into this, man, and we're gonna end it for this right here, part one. But let's get back to it.
Sister, and I'm not the only one.
Because at the time when she called you, she said it was just your brother.
Just my brother. And when my mother was on that show, do you know what I had to deal with, Shannon?
What's that?
I would be in the store, and I would have elderly women coming up to me, and they would say, your mama ain't shit.
Wow.
Now, they wasn't lying, Shannon. Okay? They wasn't lying, baby. Sometimes you gotta let the truth be the goddamn truth. Sometimes you got to just go with it. But still, it's my mother.
It's your mom.
And I'm in here, and because when she I'm having to defend something, and I got that often with them telling me what my mother wasn't, because you did not tell me. Had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm gonna have your mama, I'd have said, shut that shit down.
Yeah.
I don't need nobody seeing my mama be greedy. I don't need the world seeing. Shut it down. Now there's a white woman named Barbara Walters.
Mm-hmm.
They called her first. And she said, Mo Nique, I told your family, I can't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. You just won that award. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah, you're here. Why would I bring something that I know that you don't want to talk about? You lived it. Why do I need to replay it again?
Ask her. Your camera right there.
I was trying to.
I know, baby,
but see, we so quick as I'm speaking as a black man that's involved with black culture, because I am black and I love my culture and I love my people. And yes, I'm in an interracial relationship, and yeah, I love my mama. But anyway, we are so caught up into what the white folks gonna do to you and this and that and this and that, when it's really our own kind backdooring you. What did she say? The people who we love, we grew up on Oprah. At least I did. You know, I couldn't imagine. I don't want to think in the backdoor shit that Oprah doing, but she did it, and she got her little puppet Tyler Perry doing it too. But who came to her defense and stood her ground when Mo Nique was riding that wave when she was on fire? Because I didn't know anything about the situation where her being molested and her brother, and then family members want to come out and talk about it. I said that's what the bullshit lots do. But who had her back though? Who said no? I'm not going to do that. A white woman, Barbara Walters, who I'm a fan of. I wanted to be a journalist, you know, growing up as a kid. And she was always somebody who I looked up to. But we're gonna get back into it because it's getting juicy. We're gonna get back into it, man, for a couple more minutes, and we're gonna end it on this right here, I promise.
ask her. See, this is where it gets juicy, right?
Yeah.
Because you're saying the right things, but you're asking me questions that I can't answer.
Right.
I can't answer why Oprah Winfrey did what Oprah Winfrey did.
Yeah.
Only Oprah Winfrey can answer for her actions.
Yes.
So again, stop being scared.
No,
I knew that would get him on Mary. I knew that would pop him back in, baby. I knew that would get up a Shay.
But even this show, I have a producer and I give him a lot of leeway. But I've had people reach out and say, well, a family member said something and I want to come on your show and refute it. That ain't what we do here.
Yeah.
Right. It's like
it ain't gonna happen.
It's almost you don't cross that barrier.
We don't do the family thing.
You don't do the family thing. And I'm gonna bring this up. I wasn't gonna do it.
Wait.
But damn it, this. See.
We're gonna end it right there. An hour into that interview. Stay tuned. If you like what you see, this is my new creation. I just learned how to do it on this platform right here, my main platform. And man, if y'all like to do setup, man, give me a like, subscribe, tell me what you think, man. Peace.